بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
تفضل.
There's two questions actually. One is in regards to the fact of Zakat al-Fitr, and the other one is about, I'll get to the question later, and another one is about a ruler and a Muslim. Can one go against the ruler if his injustice, tyrant, even if that person is Muslim, or does the shirk? Or, yeah, that's one. And
That's two.
That's two. Or can one make dua against him? Even that. Another one is, the first question was Zakat al-Fitr is, a person lives in America, you mentioned the food and grain, but let's say the person is giving the money. Now, does he give the money amount and he wants to send the money to Bangladesh? So what he does is, rather than, like, let's say he has 8 members here, rather than giving the Zakat al-Fitr amount of America, he says, you know what, my brother,
Clear.
give the money to Bangladesh, that
Clear.
amount of Bangladesh, not the American one.
Clear. First question about Zakat al-Fitr. What about it?
The money, does he give the rate of America?
That was the third question. You're switching up. There's only two questions.
Two questions.
First was about the ruler.
Yeah,
because you mentioned Zakat al-Fitr first.
right.
The Zakat al-Fitr, the first question is actually the last question.
Yes.
As far as the ruler, then if the ruler is a Muslim, if he's a Muslim, then that which the Muslim should do is be patient upon the Muslim's harm and upon the Muslim's tyranny or tyranny.
If it's a woman ruler.
Muslim. If it's a Muslim ruler, is it even permissible for a Muslim woman to be the ruler of a country? That's first and foremost. Is that even legitimate? Is she even a legitimate ruler according to Quran and Sunnah? Everybody understand this? That's the first question. Is it even valid for her to be the hakim, shar'i, and she's a woman? Okay? So, a ruler who's a Muslim, they are oppressive and tyrannical. As long as they are Muslims, then the Muslims should be patient, should obey them in that which is from Quran and Sunnah, and avoid obeying them in that which is against Quran and Sunnah. Should make dua for them, not against them. Ask Allah to rectify them, to be patient upon their harm. And in doing so is a tremendous reward. And in rebelling against the ruler and revolting against the ruler is a major harm. A major harm of civil war, of strife, of bloodshed, of women's honor, and chastity being taken and disrespected, of young children, and the list goes on. We don't have to go into the books of history. When it comes to civil war, what happens when there's a civil war? Senseless bloodshed. Everybody understand this? How the people who take over, they fight, and the list goes on. As long as they're Muslim. Everybody understand this? As far as if the ruler is not Muslim, if they've left Islam based off of Quran and Sunnah, based off of Ijma', then that's a different story. That's what? Different story. You don't make dua for them. You don't necessarily have to obey them, follow them, listen to them, pray for them. Nah, it's a whole different story. But you do not have the permissibility. It is impermissible if you rebel against a kafir ruler, an apostate, if you do not have the ability to remove them in a sensible manner, a reasonable manner. Anytime a person fights, there's going to be some loss, some casualty. It's a must. It's a necessity of war. But these people, let's say hypothetically speaking, they have tanks. And you have cocktail bombs. Everybody understand this? Not saying that you can't take a tank out with that. Everybody understand this? It has to be something that's some type of odds, some type of feasible chance of removing that person and minimizing the bloodshed of the Muslims. Minimizing the death. Everybody understand this? There lies no doubt about that. If there's a big bully in our hand, and you don't have the ability to take this bully out, it's best that you be patient upon the harm of that what? Bully. For the time being, until you have the ability, what? It's the bottom line. You have no chance, no idea, no way of his weak spot and soft spot. As far as if you do, even if the odds are against you, that's a different story. That's what? He may hit me, he may slam me, but I know what I'm going to do next. I know I'm going to trip him, I'm going to do this. It's all, I've seen it. I've seen somebody else do it to him before. It's possible. As far as he's going to totally pulverize me, I don't have an idea, I don't have a clue of what I'm going to do, then it makes no sense, let alone in Islam, for you to what? Go against that bully, that tyrant. Everybody understand this? Even if that leader is a what? A kafir and a murtad, an apostate. Even so. Everybody understand this? It's clear. Muslim, it's clear. A non-Muslim, if you do not have the ability to remove them in a sensible means, it's still what? Haram, because it's wasting of life. It's spilling of blood. You're killing Muslims. You're taking souls in a reckless manner. And that is against Islam. That's what? That's against Islam. Even if the person is a what? Everybody, this is a mistake that many people they make. Oh, the person is an apostate. That doesn't mean you don't have the ability to fight them. Right. He's going to drop bombs on you. He's going to blow you up. He's going to demoralize you and the Muslims. What are you going to do? I don't think we have to look. This is well known. It's what? Well known. This person is not just going to, so let me step out of office. You're right. I'm an apostate. I'm a tyrant. I'm an oppressor. Taghut. I'll just step up. Here's the keys to the city. It's not going to happen. It's going to be an ugly, nasty, dirty, immoral fight. Everybody understand this or what? Whenever there's a major oppressor or bigger force and a smaller force, you have the underdog, you have guerrilla warfare. It's well known if you read the books of history. One of the ways of stifling resurrection,
revolution?
No. One of the ways of stifling, guerrilla warfare. Everybody understand this? Insurrection. One of the ways of suppressing it is to demoralize the rebels. Kill their children, rape their wives, blow up and destroy the civilians that have nothing to do with the war, assassinate their leaders. So what they're going to do? To take the spirit out of the fighters. Everybody understand this? What are you going to do when they do that to you? What plan do you have? What preparations do you have for this? Do you have hospitals? If someone gets shot and wounded, he's going to bleed to death. It's not a simple, easy thing. You're talking about taking a Muslim's life because of oppression, because of tax, because of the country, because what's better? These people getting killed, raped, blown to pieces, or you being patient upon the harm of that tyrant, even if they're non-Muslim? There lies no doubt. The wise man is going to say what? The first one. What about? Everybody understand this? And it's not about, die free instead of live as slaves. It doesn't mean that. I'd rather be the head of an ant instead of the tail of an ox. Doesn't mean that. That's foolishness. Everybody understand this? That's foolishness to just recklessly throw your life away. That's not Islam. That's not the dunya. That's not aql. It's not hikmah. Everybody doing this? So even if the person is an apostate, again, you still cannot go against them if it's that type of situation. Everybody doing this? If they are Muslim and how sinful, you have to do what? Obey them. You have to obey them in the khair. As far as the haram things they tell you to do, no obedience. Everybody understand this? Make dua that Allah rectify them. And also give the leader advice. Have those people of knowledge, of wisdom, of status, talk to the leader, speak to the leader, advise them, ittaqillah, fear Allah. It's haram, you cannot do this. Islam, people's lives, people are starving, people are dying. Hospitals, look at the condition of the country. Everybody understands millions and millions of dollars in banks in Switzerland, and people are on the street, sleeping on the street, drinking brown water. Everybody understand this? No leader would ever be pleased with his people living like that. Muslim or not, no true leader of men is going to be pleased with his people living like that. Everybody understand this? So there's a balance in Islam. There's a what? There's a balance in Islam. That's as far as the first question. As far as the second question,
burning, right?
Smell like cigarettes.
Cigarette.
As far as the second question, zakat al-fitr. First question is it permissible to give zakat al-fitr in monetary assets? Is that even permissible? Yeah. The second question is, if it is permissible, is it permissible to send zakat to another country? That's
the amount of that.
The question is clear. Before you get to amount, he has to do what? Send it. The birdie has to what? Everybody understand this? Is it permissible for a person to give zakat outside of his locale? And the third issue is, which currency rate does he use? $10 per head in American dollars, or how many?
Like,
what do you call them in Bangladesh?
$2.
2 taka in Bangladesh. Everybody understand this? So before you get to the third question, you have to start with the what? First question. Because most of the fuqaha of the past and of the present, not all of them, but most of them, they hold the view that zakat al-fitr cannot be given in money. And it must be given in foodstuff. It must be given in some type of food. Everybody understand this? Whether it's the 4 things mentioned in the hadith, whether it's something as staple food of the country. Everybody understand this? Dates, raisins, barley, cottage cheese, dried yogurt. That's what's mentioned in the hadith. Or anything else that is what? A staple food. Rice, cereal, things, something that you can survive on, live off of, and not die if you ate. So most of the ulama, they hold the view that these are the things that have to be given for zakat al-fitr to be valid. And giving cash is what? Can't do it. There are some of the fuqaha of the past and of the present who held a different view. And they said that's the asl, but it doesn't mean, nor does it state that it's haram to do other than that. And sometimes the wealth could be more beneficial for the poor, etc. We're not getting into that argument right now. All the answers are summarized right now. The dalil, the proofs and evidences. Some of them, they hold the view that it's what? Permissible to give money for zakat al-fitr. Alright, we're this. As far as giving zakat in another place, that's another issue of khilaf among the fuqaha. And many of them said that the zakat is to be taken from the rich of a location, the wealthy of a location, and given to the poor of a location. And a person is not to give zakat outside of his locale for obvious reasons. And other ulama, they may say it's permissible for the need, for the necessity, so on and so forth. As far as which currency rate, what exchange rate, my personal advice, if a person is going to do this, if they have been taught that it's permissible to do the first, it's permissible to do the second, my advice is to send the money in American currency. That's better, that's giving more. But if a person converted it to the taka and the rate of the taka, perhaps, but it allows no doubt it's best for him to give full, not to skip corners and, wallahu a'lam.
Okay, let's say you have a ruler and he or she, massacres the Muslims. They basically fight Islam with the laws they legislate. They basically ally themselves with other mushrik rulers, for example, right? And this person, quote unquote, calls his or herself a Muslim, right? Is it allowed for us to make dua against that person? Or at least the dhulm that he or she is doing?
First and foremost is, I believe that you answered the question in your own question. If a Muslim, is there a Muslim who fights Islam? Do you have a Muslim who fights Islam? The Prophet ﷺ says, Sibab al-Muslimi fusuq wa qitaluhu kufr. To slander a Muslim, to speak ill of a Muslim is what? Fusuq, sin. And fighting him is what? Kufr. That's fighting a what? A Muslim. Obviously that hadith talking about minor kufr. So stay with me. If fighting a Muslim is a type of kufr, based on what would the Prophet say about someone who fights Islam? According to what you said, who fights the Sharia of Allah, the Aqeedah of Islam, the practice of the Muslims. Can a Muslim even do that? Is that even conceivable? Everybody understand this? That's first and foremost. That's what? First and foremost. Also, you mentioned align with other mushrik leaders and other things like this. Those are all major problems. We're not going to get into the details of those problems. Major problems. So the first question is a person, are they even Muslim who does these types of things? And just because a person says that they're Muslim, it does not mean that they are still Muslim. And a person can have the name Ali, the name Ahmed, Mustafa, and they could worship the graves and call upon the graves and this and that, and they could be mushrikun, left Islam, waliyadu billah. So just because a person says he's Muslim doesn't necessarily protect him from being upon kufr akbar. But obviously this ruling is for the people of knowledge, those who have ilm, those who have in-depth ilm, not those who are just emotional. Alhamdulillah, those who are jealous and have feather for the religion, but the feather has to be on a leash of what? Knowledge. Everybody understand this? It's very important advice for Muslim youth. Extremely important. And also the zealots and the extremists on both sides. It's a good thing to have that ghayra for the deen, that jealousy for the religion, the Islamic spirit. You have zeal for the religion. You hate to see kufr. You hate to see oppression and tyranny, especially from your own country. That's a good thing. Alhamdulillah. Not like some people say, oh, don't have no emotions, don't have no care. Oh, no, don't watch that, don't say. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. But they're the same people who apologize for stuff they didn't do and kiss the kuffar's feet, lick their boots. You have boot kissing, you have what? Boot licking. Everybody understand this? For Muslim, a person to take his tongue and lick the grates of a person's boots. It's a difference. People are like this. Nothing for the Muslims, no compassion, no sorrow. Muslims getting blown up in Palestine, Philistine. Blown to bits. Oh, well, hey, that's what they deserve, that's what they get. Alhamdulillah. And people talk like this. People talk like this. No, you can't say that. You can't, no, that's wrong. Evident. The Prophet ﷺ, he told us that the similitude of the believers with regards to their mercy, their compassion, their care for each other is like that of a body. إِذَا اشْتَكَى مِنْهُ عُضْوٌ, when one part of the body suffers, تَدَاعَ لَهُ سَائِرُ الْجِسْمِ بِالْحُمَّةِ وَالسَّهَرِ أَوْ كَمَا قَالَ عَلَيْهِ الصَّلَاةُ وَالسَّلَامُ. He says that the rest of the body suffers from sleeplessness and from fever. So what the heck are you talking about? To see a Muslim getting killed, even if the Muslim is ignorant or sinful, to see a Muslim getting oppressed, and you don't feel no pain, something's wrong with your body, your spiritual body. Everybody understand this? So that's extremism. And there are many people like this. And we have the other side of the zealots. No knowledge, no fiqh fi deen, no kitab, sunnah, ijma', just emotion, pain. Look at the brothers, look what's happening. We have to do something, we have to do this. And they do reckless actions that are against Quran and Sunnah. And oftentimes make the situation worse. They often make the situation worse. They also ruin their opportunity to do things. That's wrong. It's a balance. The emotion has to be on a tight leash of ilm, knowledge, fiqh fi deen. Takfir, kufr, iman, khuruj, jihad, has to be what?
Balance with
Fiqh fi deen. First of all, it has to be balanced. And then with that, it has to go into what? We said what? A tight leash of ilm. Everybody understand this? And if not, it's going to be what? It's going to be chaos. The dog is going to get loose and bite someone that it's not supposed to bite. The dog may get killed, may get shot, or stabbed, or ran over. If you don't what? Have it on a proper leash. Is not the case? Everyone understand this? It's very important, a piece of advice. So therefore, making dua against a Muslim specifically is something that should be avoided. Never to make dua against a specific Muslim. To make dua against an oppressor, the oppressors in general. Oh Allah, curse the liars. May the curse of Allah be upon the zalimeen. Everyone understand this? That's permissible without a doubt. That's active ibadah. But a Muslim should not curse a specific person, as the view of most of the ulama, based off of the text of the Prophet's hadith. You should not curse a specific Muslim because you never know what Allah may do for that believer. As far as making dua for the oppressed, making dua against the oppressor, Allah, send your wrath upon the oppressors, upon those who have oppressed us. It's different. But is a person, even a Muslim, who does and says things like this? It's very, very, very scary, very dangerous. Clear? Wallahu a'lam.